Hey, beautiful Leos. If you've been feeling like no matter how much you shine or try to push forward, something keeps holding you back, listen closely, because from May 27th to 30th, the stars are flashing a major cosmic warning just for you. This isn't just any typical horoscope advice. I'm talking about 3 deadly mistakes that, if you fall into them, could trap you in the same frustrating cycle forever. Imagine knowing exactly what inner traps to avoid so you can finally break free from stuck energy and move into your full power. What if these mistakes are not just about your personality but deeply rooted in your psychology, your fears, and your natural Leo fire? In today's video, we'll uncover these hidden blocks, reveal why they're so easy to fall into right now, and most importantly, how you can turn your natural Leo strengths, your courage, your confidence, your passion, into unstoppable momentum for growth and freedom. But first, if you're new here, welcome to Zen Mind Peaceful Life, where astrology meets deep self-awareness and mindful living. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss transformative insights like these. And if you find this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow Leos who need this cosmic boost. Ready to unlock your highest potential and avoid these traps? Stay with me till the end, your future self will thank you. Right now, Leo, there's a powerful cosmic energy swirling around you that you can't afford to ignore. Between May 27th and 30th, the universe is sending signals that could either lift you to new heights or hold you in place, stuck in old patterns that no longer serve you. It's as if the stars are whispering, beware of the traps that can make you stay stuck forever. But what are these traps, and why are they so easy for a proud, fiery Leo to fall into? It starts with your incredible confidence, the kind that naturally makes you a leader. A bright light in any room. Confidence is your armor and your crown, but sometimes it can blind you. When you're so sure of your own vision and power, it becomes tempting to push forward without pausing to listen or reflect. It's a psychological dance many Leos unknowingly engage in. Your strong self-belief can mask a deeper fear, the fear of vulnerability, of showing weakness. So, instead of seeking advice or feedback, you barrel ahead, convinced that you've got everything figured out. Yet, ironically, this overconfidence can lead to missed opportunities and growing frustration. Think about that time you were sure you were right about a project at work or a decision in your personal life, and you brushed off suggestions or warnings from those around you. Maybe you thought their input was irrelevant or a threat to your authority. But looking back, you might realize that listening just a bit more could have saved you from setbacks. This overconfidence acts like a wall, cutting you off from the valuable perspectives that could spark your growth. The key is not to let pride blind your ears. Genuine strength comes from humility, the courage to admit that no matter how bright your fire burns, you don't have to do it all alone or know everything. Now, consider the impulsive side of your Leo nature. That fiery energy that urges you to leap boldly into new ventures, speak your truth fiercely, and seize the moment without hesitation. It's a beautiful gift, but during this period, acting on impulse without reflection can cause real trouble. There's a psychological reason behind this urge for instant action. It often masks discomfort with uncertainty or fear of vulnerability. When things feel overwhelming, diving headfirst can feel like the safest escape, the quickest way to regain control. But impulsive choices made without pause can lead to decisions you later regret. You might abruptly cut ties, quit a job, or make a big purchase without weighing the long-term consequences. This behavior not only affects your outer world but unsettles your inner peace, creating anxiety and stress that keep you trapped in cycles of chaos. To navigate this, it's essential to build in moments of stillness, simple rituals like taking deep breaths, journaling your thoughts before responding, or stepping away for a quiet walk can help you access that wise, calm part of yourself. Slowing down doesn't mean losing your spark. It means giving your flame a chance to burn steady and bright. You'll find that pausing to reflect actually fuels your confidence and clarity, making your actions more powerful and aligned with your true goals. Another common challenge during this time is the fierce independence that defines so much of Leo's spirit. You're naturally a leader, someone who likes to take charge and handle your own challenges head-on. But sometimes this self-reliance turns into isolation, especially when you refuse to ask for help. Psychologically, this resistance often comes from a deep-seated belief that needing others is a sign of weakness or inadequacy. You want to prove to yourself and the world that you're strong enough to do it all alone. Yet, ironically, this solo approach can backfire spectacularly. Imagine a Leo friend who's been juggling too many responsibilities, pushing themselves to exhaustion, simply because they won't delegate or share their struggles. Their pride keeps them isolated, and slowly, the weight becomes unbearable. This is a moment where true strength is found in vulnerability, the willingness to reach out, to admit that you don't have all the answers, and to lean on trusted people for support. Asking for help is not a sign of defeat, it's an act of wisdom and self-care. It frees up your energy to focus on what you do best while letting others contribute their strengths. When you connect and collaborate, you create a powerful network that propels you forward instead of holding you back. This period also reveals how these three traps, the blinding confidence, impulsive actions, and refusing help, work together to keep you stuck. It's like a cycle where pride fuels impulsiveness, impulsiveness leads to mistakes, and mistakes increase the reluctance to ask for support. You end up trapped by your own armor. The psychology behind this is deeply human. It's a pattern of protecting your ego, avoiding vulnerability, and fearing failure. But the truth is, growth and transformation only happen when you step out of this protective bubble. When you learn to balance your fire with humility, patience, and connection, your energy flows freely, and new doors open. Imagine waking up feeling lighter, clearer, and more empowered because you've let go of the need to be perfect or in control all the time. This shift isn't about losing your Leo essence. It's about enhancing it with emotional maturity and self-awareness. Start small by noticing when you're dismissing feedback or rushing decisions. Catch yourself before you say "I don't need help." And instead, try saying "I could use a fresh perspective." These simple shifts create ripple effects that can change your entire path. During May 27th to 30th, the cosmic energy supports this kind of self-mastery. But only if you're willing to listen and adapt. This window is your chance to break free from stuck patterns that have held you back for too long. By embracing humility, practicing mindful reflection, and allowing yourself to be vulnerable, you're not only avoiding the 3 deadly mistakes, but you're also stepping into a higher version of yourself, one that can truly lead, inspire, and shine without barriers. So, Leo, if you want to harness this cosmic moment to transform your life, start by honoring your feelings and instincts without letting pride or fear dictate your choices. Trust that asking for help is a superpower, that pausing is a strength, and that confidence paired with humility is unstoppable. Your path forward is waiting, but only if you're ready to take that first step toward balance and connection. Leo, as we dive deeper into this critical time from May 27th to 30th, there's more beneath the surface of what's holding you back than just the obvious habits you might already suspect. Sometimes the signs that you're slipping into those dangerous patterns don't shout, they whisper. You might feel restless, irritable, or like things just aren't moving forward no matter how much energy you pour in. These subtle signals are your inner world sending a message that something fundamental needs attention. You might start noticing tension in your relationships, not because others are doing something wrong, but because your fiery Leo energy is being misunderstood or clashing with others' needs. It could be the way you react quickly, expecting everyone to keep up with your pace or agree with your vision. This can cause friction, especially if you're unknowingly brushing off how others feel. It's a delicate balance, isn't it? Being a natural-born leader who craves respect and admiration, yet sometimes unintentionally overwhelming those around you with intensity or impatience. Reflect on moments when you felt that disconnect. Maybe a friend or colleague pulled away after a heated conversation, or you found yourself frustrated because things weren't going your way. These are signs that the patterns you're falling into, overconfidence, impulsiveness, and isolation, are creating invisible walls between you and the people who could actually support your growth. Real change begins with awareness, and the ability to pause and check in with how your actions impact not just your goals, but your connections. This self-awareness naturally leads to a powerful shift in mindset. It's about recognizing the difference between being bold and being reckless. For a Leo, boldness is your superpower. It's what draws people to you, what fuels your creativity and leadership. But recklessness is the twin shadow that can burn bridges and leave you feeling more isolated than ever. Mindfulness practices, even small ones, can anchor you. Something as simple as a daily pause before responding to conflict or making big decisions gives you the space to choose your energy and words carefully. It allows your natural warmth and confidence to shine without overwhelming others. At the heart of this process is emotional intelligence, something that transforms Leo energy from raw fire into a refined force of inspiration. When you tune into your emotions and those of others, you cultivate empathy that makes your leadership magnetic instead of intimidating. You create an environment where people want to follow you. Not out of obligation, but out of genuine respect and connection. One of the most challenging but transformative practices for Leo during this phase is learning to hold space for discomfort, both yours and others. Growth almost always feels uncomfortable because it pushes you beyond your comfort zones. That restlessness or frustration you feel isn't a sign you're failing, it's a signal that you're evolving. Instead of resisting that discomfort, lean into it with curiosity. Ask yourself what you can learn from these moments rather than trying to extinguish the feelings with quick fixes or distractions. By facing discomfort head-on, you begin to unravel old fears, fear of rejection, fear of failure, or even fear of not being enough, that have secretly been shaping your choices. This deeper psychological work requires patience and kindness toward yourself. Remember, the lion is majestic not because it never falters but because it rises with strength every time it faces a challenge. During this time, it's also essential to examine how your relationship with control plays into your struggles. Leos have a natural desire to lead and influence outcomes, which is a beautiful trait when balanced. But when the need to control becomes a way to avoid uncertainty or vulnerability, it can become a trap. You might find yourself micromanaging situations or people, driven by an anxious belief that if you don't do it, it won't be done right. This creates tension and often backfires, leaving you more drained and isolated. Imagine a Leo entrepreneur who tries to oversee every detail of their business because they don't trust anyone else to meet their standards. While this can lead to burnout, it also blocks opportunities for collaboration and creative input that could elevate the business. Letting go of some control doesn't mean losing your power, it means expanding your capacity to lead with trust and openness. This shift invites others to step up and light the path alongside you. You might not realize how much this control dynamic affects your ability to ask for help. Sometimes, pride and fear intertwine so tightly that admitting you need support feels like a defeat. But the truth is the opposite. True leadership embraces vulnerability and knows when to delegate. It's about building a community where strengths complement each other, making the whole greater than the sum of its parts. One practical way to cultivate this mindset is to start small. Identify one area where you can share responsibility or ask for advice this week. Notice how it feels to release a bit of control and how others respond when you invite them in. More often than not, you'll find support and fresh energy that reinvigorates your own passion and vision. As you grow in this self-awareness and begin shifting these patterns, you'll notice your inner critic, the voice that doubts your worth or questions your decisions, starting to quiet down. This critic is often louder when you try to do everything alone or when you rush impulsively, fearing failure. But as you practice patience, seek feedback, and allow others in, that voice softens. You realize that your worth is not tied to perfection or constant achievement but to your authentic self. The journey through these challenges is deeply personal, yet profoundly universal. Every Leo faces moments of doubt, impatience, or prideful isolation. What makes the difference is how you respond to those moments. By embracing self-compassion and conscious growth, you turn the fiery intensity that once trapped you into a steady flame of empowerment. This transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's woven through daily choices, how you respond when someone challenges you, how you handle setbacks, and how you nurture your relationships. It's about shifting from a mindset of scarcity and self-protection to one of abundance and openness. When you step into this new way of being, the stuck feelings dissipate, and your natural radiance becomes a beacon that not only guides you but inspires those around you. So, as these crucial days unfold, remind yourself that it's okay to slow down, to ask for help, and to reflect deeply before leaping. These moments of intentional pause aren't signs of weakness but powerful acts of self-mastery. They help you align your inner world with your outer actions, creating harmony and flow. Your Leo spirit is meant to blaze trails, to lead with heart and courage. But true leadership is not about overpowering, it's about connecting. It's about the balance between strength and softness, between confidence and humility. When you embody this balance, you step into a version of yourself that's unstoppable, not despite challenges but because you've learned to dance with them. And as you journey through this transformation, remember you're not alone. The stars are with you, guiding you, and so is your community here at Zen Mind Peaceful Life. Together, we explore the cosmic and the conscious to help you live your fullest, most peaceful life. Leo, as you continue navigating the intense energies of May 27th to 30th, there's an important inner radar you need to tune into, those subtle signs that warn you when you're slipping into the traps that have kept you stuck in the past. It's not always obvious at first. Sometimes, it feels like a quiet unease that creeps up during your day, like a conversation that leaves you feeling misunderstood, or a sudden tension in your chest when a situation doesn't unfold exactly as you expected. You might be surprised to realize how often you're caught in cycles where your natural Leo charisma and energy aren't fully supported because you're not recognizing these warning signals. Maybe you've been burning bright, putting your heart and soul into a relationship or a project, but somehow, despite all your effort, it feels like you're hitting a wall. That feeling of stagnation is the universe's way of telling you to pause and take stock. It's easy for a Leo to miss these signs because your fire burns so strong and fast. You're wired to lead, to jump into action, to be seen and celebrated. But sometimes, that fire needs tending. Ignoring the quiet signals only fuels frustration and disconnection. You may find that people around you start pulling away or that your own motivation dips unexpectedly. When that happens, it's a signal to check in, not just with the external circumstances but with your inner emotional landscape. When you cultivate this kind of emotional self-awareness, you unlock a new kind of power. You start to understand that your energy affects not just what you do, but how others respond to you. And as a Leo, your natural intensity means that others can either be drawn in or pushed away, depending on how you channel that fire. This is where emotional intelligence becomes your secret weapon. By learning to read your feelings and the feelings of those around you, you create space for more harmonious interactions. Instead of letting frustration bubble under the surface and erupt in impatience or anger, you can respond with calm and clarity. This doesn't mean dimming your light, it means making your presence a source of warmth and inspiration rather than overwhelm. There's something deeply empowering about shifting from reaction to response. It's not always easy, especially when you're wired to move fast and bold. But developing this awareness can be as simple as pausing before you speak or act, asking yourself what your goal is, and how you want to be remembered in that moment. The challenge often comes down to balancing your natural desire for leadership with the patience to nurture your connections. It's a dance between knowing when to push forward and when to step back and listen. Mastering this balance turns the frustrations of feeling stuck into stepping stones for deeper growth. Your Leo heart thrives when it feels seen and appreciated, but it also needs to feel understood and safe. When you make space for others' perspectives, you're not losing power, you're expanding it. And that expansion ripples outward, opening doors and building bridges that might have seemed impossible before. The temptation during these days might be to rush, to act without reflection, fueled by the fiery energy of your sign. But rushing often blinds us to details and feelings that matter most. When impulsiveness leads the way, you risk making choices that create more obstacles than opportunities. You might have noticed how impulsive decisions can create cycles of regret. That sudden urge to speak your truth without filtering it can sometimes cause hurt or confusion. Or maybe you leap into a new project with all your heart but haven't thought through the logistics or consequences. It's like lighting a match in a dry forest, exciting at first, but with the potential for wildfire if not controlled. Learning to temper that fire with thoughtful pause doesn't mean losing your spark. It means you're becoming a wiser leader of your own life. This is where practical mindfulness comes in, not as a distant spiritual practice but as a powerful tool for everyday life. A moment of stillness before making decisions can help you see paths you might have missed in the heat of the moment. Try this: when you feel the impulse to act, take 3 deep breaths. Feel the ground beneath your feet. Ask yourself what outcome you truly want and whether this choice aligns with your long-term vision. You might be surprised how much clearer things become when you slow down. That pause can also help you catch patterns of emotional triggers. Maybe frustration spikes when plans go off course, or anxiety flares when you don't have control. Recognizing these triggers allows you to respond with more compassion for yourself and others, rather than reacting defensively. Another subtle but powerful mistake that can trap Leo energy is the refusal to ask for help. Your strong independent streak is admirable, but it can also be your Achilles heel. Sometimes, the need to carry everything on your own shoulders comes from a deep fear of vulnerability or a belief that you must prove yourself by being self-sufficient. But here's the truth: no great leader ever succeeded alone. Even the most powerful lions in nature rely on their pride, their community, for strength and survival. When you resist asking for help, you're not showing strength, you're closing off a vital source of support and growth. Consider someone you admire, a business owner, artist, or even a friend who excels in their field. What you might not see is how often they seek advice, delegate tasks, or lean on mentors and peers. That willingness to connect is what fuels their success. When you open yourself to receiving help, you create space for collaboration and innovation that can take your efforts to new heights. Start by recognizing one small area in your life where you can share responsibility. It might be asking a friend for their honest opinion on a decision, hiring assistance for a project you're overwhelmed with, or simply admitting to yourself that you need support. Notice how this shift affects your energy. Most often, you'll feel lighter, more focused, and more empowered because you're not carrying unnecessary burdens alone. This act of reaching out also deepens your relationships. People want to feel needed and trusted, and when you invite them into your journey, you build bonds that nourish your soul and your goals. It's a beautiful cycle of give and take that honors your natural leadership while grounding it in genuine connection. As you practice these shifts, pausing before action, tuning into emotional signals, and asking for help, you'll begin to notice patterns of being stuck start to dissolve. The frustration that once felt like an immovable block turns into a teacher guiding you toward wiser choices. It's important to remember that growth isn't linear. You might find yourself slipping back into old habits from time to time. That's okay. What matters is your willingness to catch yourself, reflect, and adjust course. This self-awareness is the foundation of true transformation. Alongside these inner shifts, the cosmos themselves are offering support during these days. The planetary energies invite you to harness your Leo fire with intention rather than impulse. The stars encourage a dance between action and reflection, courage and humility, independence and connection. You're being called to step into a new way of being, one where your natural gifts shine not in isolation but in harmony with your surroundings. When you align with this flow, you create momentum that carries you forward effortlessly. The journey ahead might challenge your ego or test your patience, but it also holds the promise of freedom from the patterns that have held you captive. Imagine living from a place where your confidence is tempered by wisdom, your passion fueled by clarity, and your independence enriched by meaningful connection. That is the power waiting for you on the other side of these crucial days. And it all begins with the willingness to notice, pause, and reach out. Leo, as we approach the final stretch of this intense cosmic window from May 27th to 30th, there's a profound opportunity awaiting you, one that hinges on recognizing just how powerful your mindset and daily practices can be right now. These last pieces of wisdom are the keys to not just surviving this period but thriving beyond it, unlocking a version of yourself that feels freer, more aligned, and truly unstoppable. Your natural Leo energy is like a roaring fire. It demands expression, passion, and boldness. But to truly harness that power, it's essential to cultivate habits that ground and nurture your spirit. One of the most transformative shifts you can make is embracing self-love and self-care as non-negotiables, not just luxuries. So often, Leos put their energy into everyone else, their work, their friends, their family, expecting to give their best from an endless well. But what happens when that well runs dry? Burnout, frustration, and feeling stuck become the default. Self-love isn't about selfishness. It's about honoring your own needs and setting boundaries that protect your energy. It means recognizing when you need rest without guilt, when you need to say no without fear, and when you deserve kindness, especially from yourself. Imagine waking up each day with a ritual that centers you, whether it's a few minutes of meditation, journaling your intentions, or simply savoring a quiet moment with your favorite tea. These small acts build resilience and remind you that your well-being is the foundation for everything you want to achieve. There's a beautiful irony in this: the more you care for yourself, the more magnetic your Leo spirit becomes. People are drawn to authenticity and balance. When you're aligned internally, your confidence doesn't just shine, it radiates warmth and invites others to join your journey. Think of someone you admire who seems to glow with calm power. Chances are, they've mastered the art of self-care as fiercely as they chase their ambitions. Now, building on this foundation of self-love is the crucial habit of daily positive affirmations or rituals tailored especially for you during this cosmic phase. Words have tremendous power, especially when spoken with intention and belief. Affirmations help reprogram any limiting beliefs that may have crept in during times of doubt or stuckness. For Leo, affirmations like "I lead with courage and compassion," "I am open to growth and new perspectives," or "I attract support and abundance" can be anchors that shift your mindset in subtle but profound ways. Rituals don't have to be complicated or time-consuming. Lighting a candle with the intention to ignite your inner fire, writing down 3 things you're grateful for each morning, or even a simple movement practice to shake off stagnant energy can make a huge difference. The key is consistency and choosing practices that resonate deeply with you. These rituals are your daily invitations to realign with your highest self, to remind you that even when the stars challenge you, you have the inner tools to navigate with grace. Incorporating these into your routine during May 27th to 30th maximizes the cosmic support and helps you move forward without falling into old traps. And speaking of moving forward, there's a powerful truth about transformation that Leos especially need to remember. It's not about being perfect or having everything figured out. It's about progress, not perfection. The energy of this time invites you to experiment, to try new ways of being, and to be gentle with yourself when things don't go as planned. Every misstep is a lesson, every challenge an opportunity to refine your strength. Some of the most inspiring Leo stories are about people who faced huge setbacks but used those moments as launching pads for incredible growth. Whether it's a creative project that initially failed but blossomed after revisions, a relationship that ended only to lead to a deeper connection later, or a career detour that opened unexpected doors. These stories remind us that feeling stuck is often the fertile soil where our greatest transformations begin. So if you're watching this and feeling the weight of frustration or fear, know that you're not alone, and that your Leo heart is capable of rising again, brighter and stronger. This is the cosmic invitation, to lean into your power with wisdom, to embrace your flaws with compassion, and to step boldly into the next chapter of your life. Before we wrap up, I want to remind you how important it is to stay connected on this journey. If these insights resonated with you, if you feel called to deepen your understanding of astrology and personal growth, please hit that subscribe button right now and ring the notification bell so you never miss a video. Your support helps me create more meaningful content tailored just for you, the Radiant Leo community here at Zen Mind Peaceful Life. Also, if you found this video helpful, give it a like and share it with other Leos who might be facing similar challenges. Let's build a tribe where we uplift each other, celebrate our strengths, and grow together. And I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below sharing which of these cosmic insights felt most relevant to your life or any breakthroughs you've experienced recently. Your story might just inspire someone else watching. Remember, Leo, the stars guide us, but the power to change your story is in your hands. May 27th to 30th is your last chance to avoid these deadly mistakes and step into a life where you shine authentically. Lead with heart and live peacefully. Thank you for being here, for trusting this journey, and for letting your light blaze bright. Until next time, keep your mind peaceful and your heart wild.